Back to Waxy Brown's Flower Power Hour on KKID 92.9 right here in the Grozarks. Speaking of growing, we have one of my favorite troops out there doing the podcast thing today. We've got Top Shelf with Big V and Zach. We got Stu Does the News over there with those guys. I want to give a quick introduction, though, about these cats. The guys I'm going to bring on, they focus, on here we focus a lot on, a lot of different kind of issues and all that. And one thing that I often wish that I did more of was reach out and talk more about the caregivers, the home growing, the patients, the ability to grow our own plants here and what that means for people. And these cats, that's what they do. They make sure that the patients on the ground understand everything that they've got available to them, assets, information, education. So welcome to the program, folks. We got the Top Shelf crew in the house. You guys there?
Yeah, we're here.
How's it going?
Good. I want to give a quick disclaimer out there for all you folks on the FM. These cats may cough just a little bit. All right, guys. I want to ask you guys what got you guys started with this podcast that you guys have. What was the inspiration?
Go for it, Zach.
Well,
we're
both Vernon and I are both Big V and I are both veterans.
Thank you for your service.
Actually, that's how we got. Yeah, we both veterans. That's how we got connected and all this. And, Vernon kind of had a vision of a podcast at one time, just kind of brought it up to me, and I wouldn't let it go. And this all kind of came of that. And
it kept bugging the crap out of me.
Well, it was bugging the
Sorry, you caught me in the middle of an exhale.
That's okay. So first off, thank you guys for your service, man. That's really cool. We know you guys are spreading a lot of that cannabis education love to the veterans out there as well. I think, do all of you cats caregive for other folks?
Yes, we are all caregivers.
So let's talk about that for a second. Let's talk about what that means in Missouri when we talk about caregiving. You guys take us for a spin there because we got a lot of listeners out there who aren't currently cultivating, aren't doing all that, and they aren't really sure what that means when we say caregiving. What's it mean?
Well, caregivers in Missouri can provide cannabis to up to 3 patients. Each of those patients can have 6 of their own plants cultivated by the caregiver. And that's why as soon as I had the opportunity, I jumped on board with that really quick because, it's all about cannabis independence. So,
yeah, so I want to, take that a little further. So as a caregiver, okay, what we do is we basically are commissioned by our patients. We take care of their plants for them. We grow them the medication that they need. We don't necessarily provide them with the medication. We take care of their plants. And this is the way it has to be worded, and this is the way it is in the with DHSS. So we grow and manage their garden for them. You can also have a caregiver that goes to a second caregiver. A patient can have 2 caregivers. One caregiver can be in charge of their garden, and the other caregiver can be in charge of transporting their meds to them. Mm-hmm. And that caregiver can also go to the dispensary and purchase medication from the dispensary and take that back to the patient.
Now, why would it be important to bring it back to the patient? Are we talking about patients that can't necessarily take care of these things themselves?
Or can't get to the dispensary?
Well, absolutely. There's a lot of patients that are in wheelchairs. For whatever reason, they're incapacitated. They can't move and do for themselves. And rather than load them up in a vehicle and take all the time, if anybody's ever worked with the disabled before, you know how difficult, and time consuming it can be to get them loaded into a vehicle and taken to where they need to be and unload them and all the chair and everything that comes along with that, take them inside the dispensary, get their meds, and then go through it again. So, it's important that the caregiver can actually go to the dispensary, pick up the medication if they've registered with the dispensary, pick up the medication for the patient and take it back to them. And it's just a lot more.
It saves a lot of the hassle.
Ergonomical, I guess.
Sure.
right. So it all comes back to access.
Access,
like
right.
Our mission, basically basically is to do anything that we can do that helps gain people access to medication. And that can be teaching them how to grow. That's through caregiving. That's through charitable things, giving away, souvenir beans and things like that.
Yeah, let's talk about that, because one of the things we've done is we've set out we wanted to build a platform of giving back, okay, or paying it forward, whatever you want to call it. And so we built this platform where not only us, we petition our viewers and our sponsors to all pitch in. We've given away well over $10,000 of souvenir genetics
Seeds, yeah, you bet.
Plus
into
a
the
lot
hands
of
of
stuff.
patients who, many of them can't really, afford to go out and spend $60-$70 on a pack of seeds.
Or even know where to get it. And for the longest time, it was such a scary deal to even try to even think about having a cannabis, a quote live cannabis seed, come to your house, because it's illegal. So I didn't even realize that we had so much access to genetics.
Well, let's normalize that word for my listeners real quick, because a lot of them don't cultivate. When we talk about genetics, take us for a quick little 30-second walk, what that means to folks that don't grow, why genetics are important.
Okay. Genetics, when you're talking about cannabis genetics in the simplest terms, it's just like anything else that's alive. With roses, you've got several different varieties of roses. Orchids, you've got several different varieties of orchids, all the way to tomatoes, pumpkins, watermelons. You've got different varieties. And to carry those varieties on and to keep them pure, you look at the genetics. And breeding cannabis is a lot like breeding horses or breeding dogs. You're looking very close at the dominant traits and trying to carry forward the positive traits that you want to carry forward in the next cultivar. So, that's in simple terms, a genetic. When you hear the word Tangy Dream, that should speak to you what the genetics of that plant is. And so, if you're looking if you need an uplifting effect, you're going to look for genetics that carry that type of effect, and the THC or the cannabinoid profiles and the terpene profiles that you want. And those come with the certain types of genetics, and more of a sativa dominant tend to carry specific terpenes and have specific results when you ingest them. And indica is the same way. And all the hybrids, you can actually dial a plant in and get, with selective breeding, you can actually create a cultivar that gives you exactly what you need. So that's basic. Genetics are just in cannabis is just like genetics and anything else. It's the structure, it's the DNA of the plant,
family tree,
and where it comes from and the traits that has been carried on through selective breeding.
Let's talk about the podcast for a second. Now, for my folks out there watching the YouTube and the live stream on the internet there, you guys can see what we got going on here. We got three really, really cool dudes, man, sitting around a table. They got the Big Lebowski on the wall behind them. And I'm pretty sure that those jars behind Big V's head might be filled with all those beautiful things he was just talking about. So
it's hard to say.
Yeah, and there's some dab rigs laying around, and they're having a good time, guys. Tell us
There's
what.
There's just gooey stuff in this jar, man. I'm trying to get rid of it all.
Tell us what happens during your podcast, guys. Take us on a quick little walk. What that sounds like.
A little of everything happens on our podcast nowadays. We're kind of
It's
variety.
kind
A lot of stuff that can't happen on your show.
It's kind of a wild show, man.
That's why I love it, right?
Honestly, we come on here and we try to educate, we try to forward cannabis culture. We try to help everybody, access. We love the term cannabis independence. We want everyone to be able to achieve that.
What is that? What is that?
Well, that's just when you don't have to depend on anyone else to, to provide your cannabis for you.
Grow your own.
That's kind of like, we know that a lot of people go to dispensaries, and that's great for them and everything. But, kind of our main the core of everything we do comes around growing your own.
I was
you
a
know?
little a
So-
little concerned when you said cannabis independence because I don't want to be independent from my cannabis.
Yes. No.
No.
Not
Cannabis,
independent
if you
from
achieve-
your cannabis.
If you achieve cannabis independence, you're doing good.
Where can folks find that podcast, guys?
So we are on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch under Top Shelf with Big V and Zach.
All you have to do is Google Top
Yeah.
Shelf with Big V and Zach, and you'll find us.
Yep.
It's all over.
So
Hey, aren't these guys the ones throwing the big party?
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask next.
we go live every Tuesday night at 7:00 Central Time.
Mhm.
And yeah, man, I mean, last night we totally botched a press job.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm supposed to be pressing raws and I totally blew it, but that's cool because we'll do it again next week.
Right.
That's what we do, you know.
Very
It's
cool.
a learning process, but yeah,
Yeah, there's like a little news thing, in the middle somewhere.
hashtag Stu is
Yeah,
my news,
I
so he's
like
our
to-
news guy.
So I
like to
know.
try to-
Oh, go ahead. I was going to say Stu. That's where I get my news is from Stu. So
yeah,
that's
right, man.
That's
After our discussion the other day, man, I'm be hitting you up for some news. That was an awesome interview, by the way. That we saw just a little bit ago. So appreciate you heading down to the Capitol or up to the Capitol, whichever
Yeah,
way. you
Yeah,
went.
thank everything you do, man.
Yeah, for real.
Oh,
That's
I'm
what
just
it takes. That's what
grateful
it's gonna
to
take.
be doing it, guys.
We just all need to work together.
Yep. So we're,
Absolutely.
you guys
Exactly.
are.
And
I gotta let you guys know. Tim, my co-host, is a fan of the artist. That's not happened there. That's it.
No,
but-
a fan of their party that they're getting ready to have.
Yeah, you guys
Oh,
have.
yeah.
You guys
Yeah,
don't.
B420 or B420.
Are you guys the ones that have Josh Hendricks?
Yes.
we
Oh
are.
man, that's what I'm talking about. Man, I was a big fan down in the Springfield area. Tell us about the party.
Well, yeah, Josh is going to be basically the headlining act, and he's just going to do some acoustics. And just a cool jam session. He's not bringing the whole band, and that's kind of what I requested because I used to see him sometimes in Lawrence when he played with, he'd play with, Slightly Stupid and stuff, and I kind of dug him, so I thought it'd be cool to have him here. And I hit up Ben, or Ben actually told me he knew him, so got it arranged, and he's going to be there. And that's gonna be cool,
What's the party called? Where's it at, guys?
It's
It
the
is-
B420. It'll be on
B420.
April- Yep, the B420 celebration. It'll be at the Truman on April 16th in
And-
downtown
yeah.
Kansas City.
And the Truman's a big event center. It's a concert hall. We have an upstairs bar VIP for all the sponsors. If you buy a sponsorship, you get so many entries to come up to the VIP. There's a cash bar. It's going to be catered by Petra. And if you know what that means.
Oh,
Yes,
Oh,
I
boy.
do. Yes, I
Yeah,
do.
Twice Baked is going to.
Yeah, 50 vendors. We've got all sorts of stuff.
And
I
this
don't-
is an expo, man. We wanted to bring a real cannabis expo to Missouri with different companies representing, their brands, and that's what we're trying to do here. And we're bringing it into the city. We're blocking off a city block there. We're blocking off Cherry Street.
I
for a
like this
block.
part. I like this part a lot.
We're going to have indoor, outdoor, and Kansas City, I hear, has pretty much decriminalized everything. And as long as everybody's got a medical card, it is a private event outside of the venue. So I'll just let that be
Yeah,
up to
just
your-
everybody be respectful. That's what this plant's
Yeah.
about, man. If we could show up and we can all just hang out and have a good sesh, that's what it's all about,
Right.
man. I really appreciate you guys not only providing a cool party, but providing one of the most educational and informative podcasts I have ever ran across. And man, I've studied a lot of them out there to try and get to where I'm at with this thing. And you guys have always been top shelf in my book. So appreciate
it,
what
man.
you guys do for the
Thank you.
patients. I'm also grateful for your service, and I'd love to have you guys on more. And you guys are going to be at Mocana Fest, I believe, too. So this is going to be awesome.
Go down
Oh,
there, bro.
and I think
we're looking forward to that.
my buddies from the Dab Stars, Nick Woodward, got a hold of me and said he wanted me for some celebrity judging at your event. So this is going to be a lot of fun, man. We'll be there live.
Are you gonna do it?
Yeah, of
Oh, yeah.
course, man. We'll come down there. And
Judging,
film.
we'll have Uncle Stoner coming
Yeah,
down doing
The squash, man. He's gonna
Yeah,
be there.
man.
First
Uncle
time in
Stoner.
Missouri.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
we're excited.
And this is an international event, the squash off. It's not some little rinky dink, man. This is an international event, and he's going to bring that to Kansas City. And Nick and Dab Stars is kind of they're making that happen. They're bringing them, And yeah, so it's going to be really cool, man. And
Can't wait.
It's going to be a big party. It's going to be an event, a festival, all kind of in one. And we plan on doing this every year. So it's just going to get bigger. But we're definitely, dude, right back at you with everything you just said. We appreciate you as much as what you expressed to us. And yeah, we're definitely going to be down supporting you at your event. And hopefully we can liven up the party a little bit.
Yeah.
Every time. That's Top Shelf with Big V and Zach, and Stu is my news man. We've had a good conversation. We will catch you guys next time. Steve's going to take us to a little bit of tunage, I think, right?
Appreciate you
Break
guys.
first.
Thanks, fellas.
Thanks, guys.
Bye, guys.
Stay waxy, y'all.
Well, I tell you what, that Nick Woodward, we need to have him back in
That
again.
guy's
Those
a
guys are
superstar.
everywhere.
Yeah, man.
Right.
Yeah, but
Yep, they are.
awesome
Very
stuff,
cool.
man. I love those guys.
All right, you are listening to the Waxy Brown Show right here on KKID 92.9.